terrible high school sport, an overly pushy parent, inappropriate student-teacher relationships, and this very confused extra. All this and more in 2016's Killer Coach. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
This is Samantha and she's the main character.
Hi.
She's a swimmer at Stock Footage High. Her coach is her mum Gina, who's reliving her glory days through Samantha. Gina has absolutely no interest in any of the other girls on her team, just her daughter. And this girl Emily's pretty sick of this. Samantha's annoyed about it too. And when she gets annoyed, she pretends to drown.
I'm drowning.
Samantha has this clingy and pathetic boyfriend, Lucas, and he's hassling her to fill out her college application forms. He knows she's doing him a favour, so he wants them to go to the same college so he can keep an eye on her at all times. When Samantha gets home, we see Gina has stuff all over the wall about how she once won a bronze medal. Gina's like, I've decided to hire a new assistant swim coach, and he starts tomorrow. Apparently, Stock Footage High has no problem allocating budget for this. When Samantha goes up to her room, Lucas calls her, and he's like, let's meet up so we can do these applications. Samantha's like, okay, I'll meet you at Nikki's after swimming practice. After a few lengths, Samantha does the drowning thing again. But oh no, somebody's grabbed her.
What were you doing?
I thought you would drown.
She's like, don't worry about that. I always pretend to drown. Who are you? And he's like, I'm Bryce. I'm the new assistant coach. And she's like, oh, hi, I'm meeting my boyfriend in a minute. Do you want to come? And he's like, okay.
Odd. Very odd.
They get there early, so Bryce has time to boast about how good at swimming he was when he was at school. Then Lucas walks in and he's like, what's going on here? Samantha's like, this is Bryce, he's the new coach. And Lucas is like, whatever, I'm leaving. The next day at swim practice, Gina introduces Bryce to the team, and all the girls are like, ooh, he's hot. Emily thinks there might be something going on between Samantha and Bryce already. She's like, are you shagging him? Samantha's like, no. And Emily's like, good, because I'm gonna. Later in the car park, Bryce gets Samantha's number so he can send her some videos.
Oh my gosh.
About swimming.
Oh.
The next day, Lucas is waiting for Samantha at her locker, and he's like, I'm sorry about the other day. I was jealous. Please don't dump me.
I just need some space right now.
Space for me?
Yes.
You're breaking up with me?
She's like, sorry, Lucas, you're just too much. And he's like, I hate you. You've ruined my life. That night, while Samantha's practicing in the pool, Bryce has shown up. He's like, you're good, but you could be better.
You think you can beat me?
Well, of course he can. He's a man and you're a woman. He's stronger, taller, has a higher muscle mass, etc. That's why there are separate divisions. Any idiot knows that. Anyway, so they race and Bryce lets Samantha win. After that, he's like, right, let's not mess about. This is going to happen.
I thought you said it'd be inappropriate.
Only if somebody finds out.
And then they bang. When she gets home, Samantha can't stop thinking about Bryce and they're texting. Then her phone rings and oh God, it's Lucas. So she ignores it. The next day, Samantha swims really well, but she feels like what happened last night was a mistake. So she goes to see Bryce.
Look, I wanted...
I can't stop thinking about it.
I've never done anything like that. Ever.
She ain't never do this before, but she good at it. So she never made love, but she good at it.
He's like, you're not going to tell your mum, are you? And she's like, no, I just feel guilty about Lucas. Bryce pretends to be fine with it, but he's not happy at all. So he sends her messages throughout the day saying stuff like, I don't see why it would be a problem if we kept it a secret, lol. After school, she goes to her friend's birthday party and Bryce is there.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
I was invited.
Still, kind of weird though.
I'm not even the oldest guy here.
But oh no, looks like Emily has seen them talking. Hang on, what is that?
My goodness.
Now, call me old-fashioned, but if something like that had turned up at one of my friends' parties in the early 2000s, everyone would have started chanting, man or a woman? Are you a man or a woman? Man or a woman? Are you a man or a woman? That person would have left crying and we'd all still be laughing about it 20 years later. Anyway, back to Samantha and Bryce.
It was a one-time thing.
Right.
All right.
But that's not what he wants. And when she gets home, he's outside her house, calling and texting so aggressively that her phone vibrates off the bedside table. Why didn't she just put it on silent? No idea, but she doesn't. The next day at school, Samantha tells Lucas she wants to get back together, and obviously he agrees. Later, Bryce asks to see Samantha in the locker room.
Why aren't you responding to any of my messages? I don't like being ignored.
She's like, look, this is totally inappropriate. Leave me alone. At swim practice, Emily tells Samantha that she knows something's going on, but Samantha's like, look, nothing happened. Then she pretends to drown again. When they get home, there are some flowers on the doorstep, and they're for Gina, from Bryce. So Samantha calls him.
Are you serious?
I don't like being someone's mistake.
He's like, by the way, there's a video of us shagging in the pool. You can't see my face, but you can see yours. And she's like, oh, shit. And all this stress has affected Samantha's swimming. After practice, she sees Emily flirting with Bryce, so tries to tell her that something's wrong with him.
And you know this how?
It's a feeling.
Then Emily walks away, making weird head movements. And things get worse. When Samantha gets home, her mum has invited Bryce over for dinner. Bryce pretends to be a really nice guy, and the whole thing's really awkward, so Samantha gets rid of him. Later, we see Bryce meet this creepy guy to get some information, but more on that later. Bryce then tracks down Lucas, and he's like, oh, hi, Lucas. So I found this video of you and Samantha shagging in the pool.
I assume that's you, Samantha? Just be a little more discreet.
The next day at school,
What did you do?
What are you talking
I
about?
saw the video! Who was it in the pool? Was it you?
I don't think so.
the random extra's like, no, and Lucas runs off crying. Are you a man or a woman? So Samantha storms into Bryce's office and she's like, right, that's it. I'm telling my mum everything. And he's like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I've got a report that said your mum tested positive for steroids before she got her bronze medal, but it was covered up by influential people. If this gets out, your mum will lose everything.
What do you want?
You.
Then, in what has to be my favourite scene, Samantha sits in class worrying that these two extras are laughing at her. So she leaves class. When she gets home, her mum's like, right, what's going on? Why did you leave school? But Samantha's like, piss off, mum. She goes to her room and tries to call Lucas, but he's not answering. Then she gets an idea. She's going to find out more information about Bryce on Google. Sorry, I mean, look it up. She finds out his dad's address and goes round the next day. His dad's like, yeah, Bryce has always been a stalker. He's not supposed to be coaching anymore. He's not stalking you, is he? And she's like, yeah. Then he tells her to leave. So she goes to see Lucas, who's decided he's over that whole her shagging someone else thing. Are you a man or a woman? Meanwhile, back at the pool... And then they bang. But then Bryce pulls out and says he can't do this to Samantha.
Okay.
When Emily tells him Samantha's not interested in him, he gets aggressive. So Emily storms out. Back at Lucas's house, Samantha has explained everything. And Lucas tells her he needs to call the police. But Samantha's like, no, or my mum will get in trouble. And then they bang. When Samantha gets home, she calls out for her mum by making this noise.
Ma? Ma?
She sees someone outside and then, oh no! Oh, it's fine, it's only ma. Samantha's like, I think there's someone in the house, but her mum's like, no, there isn't. So Samantha goes to bed, but there is someone in the house. Although we don't see Bryce knocking one out over sleepy Samantha, it's certainly implied. The next day at school, Lucas tells Samantha he has a plan. He's like, we need to get Bryce's address from his office, break into his house, and steal the information on your mum's drug test. Samantha's like, yeah, okay, but how do we get him out of his office? And here's the plan. Samantha calls Bryce, pretending to be up for it, and arranges to meet him at Nikki's. And while that's going on, Lucas will break into his office and find his address. But hang on, Bryce hasn't turned up. It's okay though, Lucas has got the files.
I'll be there.
So he's dead.
Yes!
Okay, no, he's not dead.
Shit!
Samantha finds him and takes him to hospital, where we meet Detective Dunlap of the useless Lifetime Police Department.
Bryce did this.
This was a robbery.
Right, so as usual, nothing they can do. Gina's like, why would Bryce do this?
Because he's been stalking.
Stalking you. Okay. We'll bring him in.
What?
Oh my God, the ULPD is finally going to do something. Meanwhile, Samantha has to explain to her mum that she had sex with Bryce and that he's threatening her with her mum's old drug test. The next morning...
There is not enough evidence, Samantha. It's circumstantial.
That's more like it. They do, however, agree to leave a ULPD patrol car outside the house. I wonder how that's going to work out. Oh, right, yeah, it's crap because Bryce has got into the house.
I'm gonna need your cell phone.
He messages Samantha, who's at hospital with Lucas, pretending to be her mum, saying, "Meet me at the pool, let's do some swimming practice." And she's like, "Yeah, all right." So here she is at the pool making this noise again.
Mom? Mom? Mom?
But oh no, Gina's tied up at home, and Bryce is here. He's like, "Okay, Samantha, we're going to recreate our first time right here, right now, or I'll shoot you." So off come the clothes, and he leaves the gun on top of his. First, they have to race, just like the first time. Meanwhile, Emily has come to Samantha's house to tell her she thinks Bryce might be dangerous. She spots Gina tied up in the living room and rescues her.
Bryce, he's at the pool with Samantha. He's got a gun.
Back at the pool, the race is over, and Samantha's decided to tell Bryce she's not going to do the next bit. So he gets really angry and attacks her. And oh no, it looks like she's drowning. But oh look, she was just pretending to drown. She's managed to get hold of the gun and tells Bryce he needs to get help. But he's not having any of that. And look, Gina and Emily have arrived with the police. Perfect timing.
Not really.
2 weeks later, and it's the big swim meet. Everyone's really excited, especially this extra. Now, I'm no expert on swimming, but look at that entry.
That doesn't look good.
But Samantha wins anyway, everyone's really happy, and that's the end of the film. So until next time. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and please consider joining my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Thank you.